Now the series is finished, I've had time to sit back and reflect on it as a whole. It's certainly been an improvement on the Trimble era, but is it up there with RTD Series 3 or Moffat's Capaldi era? Definitely not. But I did enjoy most of it on the whole. Before I go any further, hit that pause button and write down your own worst to best. Leave it in the comments so we can see if we agree or disagree. Also, leave a comment if you completely hate my list and want to argue about why I'm wrong, because I actually enjoy constructive negative feedback.
Get on with it!
At number 8, we have Rogue. For those of you who've been following my reviews, it will come as no surprise that I've listed the god-awful Rogue as my firm bottom. The best way I could describe this travesty is, it is an amateurish piece of erotic fan fiction written by a frustrated, bored housewife.
Well, yeah, I'm frustrated.
The Doctor just gets in the way all the time. He puts his companion at risk by leaving her on her own so he can cringe-induce the audience by embarrassingly gyrating to Kylie Minogue in a predatory way.
See? It's so embarrassing.
And Ruby saves the day by using a piece of technology crowbarred in at the start of the episode.
Psychic earrings.
Not only the worst episode of the series, but in my humble opinion, the worst episode ever.
It's the worst.
Yes, it's worse than Orphan 55, because at least you can laugh at that. At number 7, Space Babies. This one got a lot of hate, but I didn't mind it. It felt like a bit of flim-flam that you get at Christmas, you know. It's not one I've been desperate to rewatch, and I felt that RTD easily had a better script than him, but I get the impression he was really going for that family audience, so I'll forgive him on that one. Number 6, Empire of Death. It was an okay episode, but a bit of a letdown after the previous episode. The CGI spectacle, Sutek, one of the most powerful characters from Doctor Who's past, being defeated by a dog collar, all felt a little underwhelming for a supposedly explosive finale episode. But saying that, Mel was a joy in every scene.
I love her so much.
And Millie gave a heartbreaking leaving performance, and that made me shed a tear, which is something I normally reserve only for doctors regenerating.
No one wants to hear that, man!
And number 5, The Legend of Ruby Sunday. I'll be honest with you, I really shot myself in the foot when I posed this question. Is this one of the best episodes of New Who? And I went on to receive the following replies.
No, it isn't.
No, of course not.
Hardly.
Nope.
This video seems like 70% AI generated.
I did admit to one gushing online admirer who said,
No.
that I got caught up in the excitement of Sutek's return. However, on a second viewing, I still thought Millie was great and Mel was amazing.
Poor guy. He loves her so much.
The problem was, in the end, it was like a lot of setup and a lot of greeting and a lot of exposition for a villain that was only really known by old Git fans like myself and diehard fans. So even though I enjoyed it, it only made my number 5 on my list on reflection. Number 4, Boom. Now we're getting into my top 4 of episodes I actually consider to be truly enjoyable. It was brilliant to hear Moffat was back, and he didn't disappoint. Loved the Skyboat song, as it was a song played by Patrick Troughton in The Web of Fear, which inspired me to learn it on the recorder many, many years ago. Great use of doing a lot with a little, which Moffat is also great at. It definitely wasn't up there with his classic episodes, but it was clear that this was a better script and a better performance than we've had for a very long time. Number 3, Devil's Chord. Controversial choice this. There's been a lot of harsh comments made on the Tinterweb folk about Jinx Monsoon, who was actually absolutely brilliant. Just the right level of over-the-top madness that was needed for this part, and as a villain, a much-needed breath of fresh air, especially when it was revealed that Maestro was the Toymaker's child.
My legions are coming.
Few issues with the Beatles though. I know they didn't look like them, but they did act like them, so I was happy with that, and I was happy to forgive them on that. But this is a but, and it's a big but.
Oh my, that's offensive.
John didn't wear round glasses until 1966. This episode was set in 1963. Also, the notes went on a stave, so it would have been pretty impossible to know which notes to play. Okay, and the Beatles couldn't read music anyway.
Nerd.
But on the whole, a splendid time is guaranteed for all. Number 2, Dot and Bubble. This was a great story, very much in the mould of Black Mirror. Callie Cook was outstanding in this well-written story. It was very much a Doctor and Ruby Light story. The ending could have come across as preachy, and the Shooty's performance could have been a little over the top and cringy, but both ended the show admirably. I was completely hooked right way through the episode, right up to the end. The only reason why this didn't get to number 1 was the unexplained reason why the computer didn't just take everyone out with the dot, and why they create the slugs in the first place. But apart from that, it was a solid episode that deserved a second viewing after knowing what the ending was, which added more weight to it.
And the winner is...
73 yards. Easily the best episode in the show's history for years, never mind just this season. I haven't seen an episode this good since like The Prisoner of Jejune or really high points in Capaldi's seasons. It was great to have the show back on track. And I gave so much more kudos to Millie when I found out it was her first episode filmed for the season, and she clearly already had the character nailed. It was amazing to have a story in the style of M.R. James, particularly A Warning to the Curious. The whole episode was gripping, the scene in the pub was flawless. I loved Ap Gwilym, even though the ending tied up nicely. It was lovely to have a callback to the Empire of Death, where the alternative adventure was a hazy memory for Ruby. So that was my top 8. And so here's a quick rundown. 8. Rogue. 7. Space Babies. 6. Empire of Death. 5. The Legend of Ruby Sunday. 4. Boom. 3. The Devil's Chord. Number 2. Dot and Bubble. And number 1. 73 yards. Do you agree or disagree? Please write your list and your comments below, and I'll be back soon with my 10 favourite characters in this season.